What is going on, lunatics? Guys, new name, who dis? We're going to call this LUNC Rock and Roll going forward. As you guys know, I'm a big-time punk rock fan, so I might as well become a LUNC rock and roller. So, and that's just to be funny. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. We're going to talk about what's going on in the market. I haven't done this before. I haven't pre-screened anything, so we're just going to poke around as quickly as possible through this ecosystem, and we're going to talk about an article that came out that said, could Luna Classic go to $5? And look, I don't have any justification or reason that I would say that there's a possibility that could happen. As you know, my original prediction for the market, and look, in 2022, 2023, we were all pie in the sky, get back to $1. I told you guys a little over a year ago that the maximum that I could see was 2.7 cents. Then we got to, and by the way, I am a bull, okay? I am a bull. It just didn't seem like there was a chance to get to $1 under the current dynamic. And then I was hoping that the dynamic would shift and that we would have a couple of things and that would put us in a position where that could happen, or that could be at least a reality, or at least a passing fancy, if you will. However, through the course of the last couple of years, no appreciable burns that are automatically happening. There's a lot of people who have stepped in who've done a lot of burning, but that doesn't mean that we have a massive burn protocol in place, the likes of which would change the dynamic of what it is, how we do all. So I'm going to take you through this. The question today is, can Terra Luna Classic hit $5 by 2025? The dream of Terra Luna Classic reaching $5 by 2025 is bold, but is it even realistic? Let's dive into the numbers and possibilities. Now, without giving you today's data, we're going to put the challenges ahead. The challenges ahead are, number one, the lack of a significant burn mechanism. Now, that's not to say that we're not getting burned. We are getting burns. In fact, now, other than Terraform Labs and that 250 billion burn that happened a couple of months ago, they haven't burned almost anything, and at best, the only thing left in those wallets is BTC. So taking this out, and we have to take that out for honesty's sake, right? Now, it still is a burn, but it's not going to be part of an average. But they burn 62% of the burn supply that we've done so far in one fell swoop because they were holding on to an enormous amount of supply. Now, in 3 days, Binance is going to do another burn, and you can see right here, they're really crushing it when it comes down to it. If we had 10 different centralized exchanges doing the same thing, this conversation would be very different. But our volume is not such that that is or would happen, and they were whitelisted, so the burns that we actually get on chain don't really qualify. So they've burned, nonetheless, 70.8 billion, probably going to burn at least another 700 million in this month, so, or for next. But then it drops off dramatically, and you can see here that DF LUNC has burned 4.5 billion, Lunatics 2 billion, MEXC burned 1 billion, and by the way, they've kicked it up a notch recently with bigger burns. LUNC DAO 457 million, Terra Casino 448 million. Speaking of Terra Casino, if you haven't already, go check them out. You got Fish Trophy that's available to play right now as we speak. They're giving away $4,000 from Multiplier Rumble 2, Daily Champions from February 24 to March 2nd, and the Daily Lightning Tournament starts in a couple days. You're getting $59.50. What is $59.50? Is that something in this ecosystem? I don't know, but I think it might be something important to them. $59.50, I don't know. $51.50 was criminally insane in California in the 90s or 80s or something, so $59.50 might mean a little something. Now, you can trade XRP, anything that you want in order to play on Terra Casino. And as you can see right here, there are people over here doing hundreds of dollars in their wagers or investments, and all you have to do is take a shot on Daily Lightning, take a shot on Multiplier Rumble, and you too could be winning thousands of dollars in prizes, so go check it out. Now, after that, you have Cremation, you have All Nodes, you have KuCoin, LUNC Burn, you've got Terraport.finance down here. These are top 15 burns. LUNC Cookie Monster burning 100 million. There's a lot of burns that are happening, but again, with so much supply, it's creating an obstacle. So let's move on from that and go back over here. We don't have significant burns, and we have no major catalyst yet. Without a revolutionary ecosystem upgrade or adoption, achieving $5 remains a fantasy. Now, that is true. There's no major catalyst both in the market and through the Luna Classic ecosystem. So what could change the game? A massive ecosystem development. If LUNC gets a major use case, it could spark serious demand. Now, that would be the builders, the people who are building in this network, coming up with something that would attract a game-changing amount of people into the ecosystem. Now, look, if everybody if it went kind of crazy and it went to just say 7 billion market cap, like the Trump meme token did the other day, we'd literally be talking in that point about a 22 to 23x, which would actually check out when we look at where our price is, stuff like that. That would actually make perfect sense and would get more in line with what my prediction was, which was about a 30x. So getting something like that, I think, would be big. But again, it's not even close to $5. But the unpredictable crypto market, we've seen shocking rallies before. Could history repeat? Now, I want to tell you that this is where it gets very, very interesting, because what if we had a market cap that would be commensurate with just Dogecoin? Dogecoin has no function, no use, no reason to exist. There's nothing about there's nothing about Doge which makes it a pride in any ecosystem. So if I wanted to do this, what would it take? So if Dogecoin at a 29.9 billion market cap, if we could get to that range, then we're talking about 0.0054, which is an 82x from where you currently are. Now, for most of you, it's not going to make you rich, but it would be a nice return. An 82x on anything is a pretty good. Now, if it were to get to the range of Solana, currently trading at about 67, then that becomes a penny. So there is a path, but that path has to include a lot of luck and a lot of positivity coming through, and that's 185x. Now, in the event that it were to come to, let's just say, Ethereum's case, then we'd be talking about 5 cents. It'd be 286 billion market cap, and it would be 5 cents. Now, Bitcoin, it would be 1.7 trillion market cap, and that would only get us up to 30 cents. This is the enormity of the problem with us getting there with the current supply. Now, the issue still remains to supply. So how do we get to a situation in which that supply gets reduced? It happens with burns, but how do we get there? Well, we have no burn that's appreciable at this point. We've got a small amount that gets burned every single time, but we don't have enough transactions. So how do we get there in that? Well, let's go back to what we're talking. We've got the massive development, then we've got the unpredictable crypto market, and then we've got burn implementation. So a structured burn could significantly reduce supply, aiding price growth. Now that's what we're looking at, and that's what we would like to see done. That would make it a possibility, because in the event that we were able to reduce the supply down to 1 trillion, well, my friend, the dynamic of this market tremendously in that regard, and the needs of that pump become much more diminished. So but let me take you through that as well. Hitting $5 going to be very, very complicated and very, okay. Now, in looking at the charts, you can see here, the market is just selling off we're down another $100 billion. As soon as the US market comes on, it just garbages out, because it's, look, garbage in, garbage out, US market, trash. So what's happening right now, through the evenings, into 6, 7 o'clock this morning, we were up at a nice 89,500 range. The market was up just a little bit on the day. The overnights continued to pump its way through. And then what happens? US market comes online, and we turn into a dumpster fire because USA. So, the US market, still takers, not makers. They're not doing anything. All they're doing is just backstabbing you in this market, stealing your money from you. It's disgusting. They're garbage, but that's where we are. Hashtag Trump. I don't know what to say. But what I would like to see is, of course, some real movement and not this baby garbage right here. But we're not there yet. Obviously, this market is just trying to bleed and suck everybody dry to get everybody out. And by the way, we're basically playing a game of you are here. Are we in this gigantic bear trap? It's a possibility. Maybe we are. I don't know. This is what it looks like to me. But, and this, by the way, this is a 4-year chart. So, it is most likely that we're in that first sentiment extreme that we got there in December of this year, priming up for everything. And since then, it's just been downhill because USA. And then, we get the renewed optimism, FOMO, and then euphoria. and then we head into the bear market. Now, this is going to take place over the next 6 to 8 months, most likely, maybe the next 9 or 10 months, because everything seems to be delayed and running a little bit slower. So again, I think we are in that good spot. We just, we need to see that reversal kick in, and then maybe, just maybe, we are going crazy. Now, at this point, the U.S. market could see a dip all the way down to 78,000 on Bitcoin. Now, how does that apply to Luna Classic? As you guys see, what I've been telling you would be happening is actually happening. We're getting this move that we've been looking for, and this, I told you guys, I expect to see some of these goals and some of these levels be hit. There needs to be a breakout coming up above. We need to start seeing it sort of play out here. Come to the daily chart. You can see it really pretty clear right there. We had a nice little move taking us about to the heart line, halfway point. Then it came back down. Now, at this point, even with the market dipping, we're minting a higher low. That's a trend reversal. Trend reversal means that we're probably heading up. So I do think that we are heading up. Now, at this point, it would take just a lot more money coming out of the market, and which could happen, by the way, but it would take a lot more money to get us down to this range at this point, because sentiment is not, people now believe what we're talking about, that this is just a dip in the road. So I do believe that we're going to experience a surge coming up very soon. I just can't tell you when. I would like to be able to. I told you I thought the 17th and 18th of this month would be a good starting point for that day. Like, and I'm not comfortable doing that, but I was pretty comfortable that, once people started to get their tax refunds, once people started to get their FTX money, that they would be really interested in lighting that fire, if you will, and they are not interested in it at all. If you are shorting this market right now, you are minting millions. Okay, that's basically what I can say. If you are a bear, then bears are absolutely annihilating the market. And let me point it out to you, just so you guys understand, like, this is significant and this is stunning. Okay, go to where we are right now, take a tool right here, and 3.7 trillion is where we were before, right? 3.73 trillion. We are now down almost $1 trillion in the course of, what is that, 2 months? In 2 months, the market cap is down almost $1 trillion. So that is significant. That is massively significant. And the fact that there are no bulls stepping in, that's a problem. That is a problem. But we've wicked down to the 200 MA. That usually means a trend reversal is coming in. Remember, we did this. We came down here, dipped down below, used it as support one time, and then we bounced super hard. We've done this before. And by the way, we're dipping down to points that we haven't seen in December, November. Like, we've been here before. It's not that long ago. So everything is not that bad, but it just feels that way. So back to the point here, I don't think we can do $5, but we can do something pretty good. Now, in Commonwealth, nothing has changed. Everything is still over there. CoinHall, the meme coins, still dunk, still we're just still getting drained all the way down. Remember, the boys token is now basically dead at this point. Ross stole from the community for the boys and for Butcher, and gave them a little bit of the liquidity back. And by the way, when you say gave them a little bit of the liquidity back to do something, that means that he took your money, said, screw you guys, and disappeared. Again, for me, I hope you agree, Ross is burnt. We never do business with Ross again. He has stabbed people in the back, and this is disgusting, and I don't think that we should be supportive of that. So that's my opinion. You are entitled to your own. So if you are interested in meme coins, however, go to Terra.finance. That's where you can do it. Now, I'm not staking right now, holding onto it in my wallet, but you can open up right now a 14, 10, 7, and 4% stake. The rest of it has been sold out for a long time. So not sure what we can do there for staking, farming, liquid staking. You can do whatever it is that you need. And remember, all of these tokens are available for you. Just go there. And now, if you want to currently trade futures on Luna Classic, weeks right there. weeks is the place to go. They have futures trading, options trading, so that you can do, whatever kind of trading that you would like to do, you can do it on weeks. So sign up there today and set yourself along. I mean, when we look at the chart one more time, this is not the spot to set yourself a long. It's not the exact area. It's not the exact moment where you want to put it, but it's close. I mean, again, I think we go up to the top of that range, but we go up to the top of this range here, I think. The fact is we're at the bottom channel, and you can see that kind of playing out right there. We've just kind of wicked down here a couple of times. We could be going low, could be headed back up. But I think that, when you're in one of these sort of channels here, then when you hit the bottom, you do tend to bounce back up to the top. So, maybe we're at the halfway point. Let me show you what that looks like. You've got this trend line down here. You've got this trend line up here, and you've got that potential for the breakout. Now, we're at the heart line. We rejected off of the heart line. That means that, we need to establish momentum, which, again, we did this before, and then we ended up at the top of this range. So I do think that, we end up at the top of this range with a little bit of a lower high and then an opportunity for a breakout. What happens there? But that's what it looks like. I think hopefully we're going to doing pretty well on it. Same thing over here for Luna Classic. Would like to see it, or USTC, would like to see it finish this move, get up here to about 2.7 cents. That's a 100% increase from where we are right now. And I do think that that is on tap. That did not happen right there. We were on our way to it before the market started. Absolutely. So hopefully, because we are, again, kind of extending around this heart line, that means that it's just a pause in our momentum like it was over here. We had a nice little run to the heart line, then we had a stiff dip, and then it broke out top. So what we're watching right now is we're watching the same thing. We got that, we got the stiff dip right here, and then that would, a big move up into here would be the next scenario if in fact these lines now the same way. I don't know that it will, but that's what it looks like. So hopefully we'll see that. All right, now, it's becoming clear that freezing LFG assets is not going to happen. People are going to pretend, and look, they're stifling the growth of this ecosystem. I'm telling you right now, they're stifling the growth of this ecosystem. I don't know what reason. They say, everybody has their own reason for why they're doing it. But what they're doing is they're stifling the growth of this ecosystem and the motivation, okay? So they're stopping things that would dramatically improve this market. And I want to be very specific. Imagine if you saw 1.8 billion being removed from a supply of only, what is 7 billion? 7.8 billion on USTC. So imagine that supply diminished and came down near that circulating supply. All of the sudden, everybody who's watching this would be like, oh my God, something is actually happening over here. And you would see USTC immediately, in my opinion, pump to that 2 or 3 cent area. And then you would see it maybe even go beyond to where I told you before, I think, which is about 6 or 7 cents. So you would see that happen very, very quick. All of the validators that are voting no to you, that are trying to keep that from happening, all they're doing is stifling it. And what they're telling you is, they're giving you reasons by that. So, when you look at it, and if you were to check it out, like they're bothering to give you reasons like, I don't think it's supposed to be that. Let the courts handle it. All of this kind of stuff. All right, that's what's happening. I don't know that that's a great look. I mean, Jesus is Lord. No, with veto, he doesn't want he doesn't want those. He doesn't want that crypto. The chance that you could have your USTC value stolen from you is more important to him than following the purpose of the plan. That's all I can say to that. So the plan for LFG. You know what the plan was. It was to protect the USTC peg. It did not protect the peg. And Jesus is Lord is doing everything he can to stop the growth of this. I don't know how else to put it. And then if you validate with him, you did it because he had a name in his title. You should be better. If you're one of those people, be better. Anyway, so, I mean, we don't have and by the way, the development proposal for enabling whitelisting is also up here for consideration. It's going to be a couple days before we get a lay on how that. I assume that we can't enable whitelisting because if we did that, then that would be, what was the excuse? What was the reason that we got over here? Stop trying to interfere and leave those funds alone. Certain validators should cease their perpetual desire to forcibly erase or blacklist wallets on-chain and instead respect the principles of immutability and censorship resistance. You better bet your ass that Jesus is Lord better say no to this next proposal, because that enabling wallet whitelisting is disabling the immutability of this blockchain. That's exactly what it's doing. So I better see a no with veto on this one too. Otherwise, you're lying, you're deceptive, and you're just trying to steal from people ultimately. Because this guy's making a lot of money, and you give him that power because that's a validator that is preventing you from succeeding. You gave it to him, and you're allowing this to happen. That's all I'm saying. So we'll see how they vote. I'm going to certainly be interested in, because you can't violate the immutability of this blockchain. And if this immutability, it says it doesn't have a whitelist function, then you can't do that. So, and by the way, you're not going to see that. So anyway, let's close this out real quick. Stake bin, yesterday we had 151 million burn. So that increased the burns up to about 424. Not a lot from USTC at this point. So now it's just a matter of a waiting game. Now we're looking at, what's going to happen in this market. Luna Classic 66.97. I think the breakout is coming. I'm not against the breakout. The volume is down, but market cap up a little bit. Same thing we've seen time and time again. So that's it. That's the show. Look, I implore you, validate with people who support your beliefs. And if no with veto is your belief, validate with Jesus is Lord. If you think that that's an idiot that is lying and deceiving you, remove your validation. And by the way, removing validation and changing to a different validator doesn't take 21 days. You can do that immediately. Send a message. Send a message. And if you don't, we get what we get. So is $5 possible? Yeah, but not with people like Jesus is Lord. Taking your money every month and then voting against your better. And let me know what you think. Comments down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm